Good evening. It is Argyle against Exeter, and this game just means more. Hello, good evening and welcome to Home Park. You actually join us this evening, slightly different location as you may have noticed. We are inside the Argyle TV broadcast studio. I have my lovely colleague stood here behind me, not stealing the limelight just yet. We are bringing you coverage this evening from in here because this is a very big game, Argyle v Exeter, and of course we've got the Sky cameras in as well this evening providing extra coverage. But Argyle TV is still a go and we will be bringing you all the action in the run-up to the game this evening. And a big game, as I said before. This is the 70th meeting between Argyle and Exeter, and it is the first here since 2017. Argyle are currently top of the table, and they are bidding for a return to the Championship for the first time in 12 years. While Exeter City, on the other hand, are currently back at this level for the first time in 10 seasons. Kickoff is happening at 8 p.m. tonight, and we will be broadcasting the game live overseas to Argyle TV supporters. So welcome if you are watching. And of course, it's not just available to stream on Argyle TV, as I said, because the Sky cameras are here too. Now, over the next 45 minutes, we are going to be building up to all the action, and I am joined by none other than Katie Middleton, who will now slide in and join me here in the studio. Katie, how are you doing this evening?
Very well, thank you.
Very good. Nice to change the scenery.
Yeah, lovely. I've never been in here
No,
before.
you've never.
Nice.
What do we make of it so far?
Yeah, it's quite good in here, isn't it? It's
very
very
good.
professional.
Yeah. Little sneak peek behind the scenes for everyone. We've kept you up in the gantry and out on the pitch for long enough. Now you can see what it looks like all behind the scenes. But there is, of course, action happening, very important action happening on the pitch tonight that we will all want to see and hear about. Katie, Devon Derby, this is a big one. You've played in quite a few yourself. What does it mean? What's the atmosphere like?
I mean, the atmosphere tonight's going to be great out there, isn't it? It's a sellout crowd, and having played in a lot of these kinds of games, it's about pride, and that's the key thing tonight. And proving that you're the best team in Devon is what they'll all be trying to go out there and do tonight. Yeah,
they do say there's only one team in Devon. We know which one it is,
the
obviously. But what's it like, in terms player-wise? Do you think there's more? I know it's a league game, but it does feel like there's more to play for this evening, doesn't there?
Yeah, and I think this is the one that, when the fixtures come out at the beginning of the season, everyone looks for this one. When's the Plymouth Exeter game? And they'll be out there to prove a point tonight, won't they? Obviously, Argyle are looking to keep their incredible run going. Exeter be coming to spoil that party as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, do you think the pressure is mounted even more slightly, knowing that Argyle have got that really good track record? It would be a really bitter pill to swallow if it was Exeter that was the team that took it away.
Absolutely, 100%. We cannot let that happen tonight. It's you do not want to be turned over by the team from just up the road. So, today's a big game. Like I say, the rivalry's there. Everybody knows about that. At the end of the day, it's another game of football and a game that Argyle would be wanting to win. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, we'll be getting the team news shortly, find out who is going to be playing this evening. But on Tuesday last week, Argyle managed to continue their 100% home record in the league this season with a hard-fought 2-1 win over Shrewsbury Town. And here are the best bits.
Bennett just lurking on the edge of the penalty area as it's swung in, headed goalwards and hits the frame of the goal. Not cleared by Argyle just yet. Flanagan lays it off, back in again, and Randall stoops to head clear. That was a bullet header goalwards. Back into the Argyle box again, out comes Cooper and he punches that ball away. Superb bit of goalkeeping. Sadie is down, holding his head. Cooper might have taken a touch of him. Down the other end, Morosi makes a mess of a clearance and Ryan Hardy went for the audacious, tried to volley it over the top and in. Driving one through the middle, Bayliss with the layoff, Lee with the pass out to the left-hand side, Sadie picks it up, lays it off, delivery is a good one into the middle, Cooper comes, doesn't really get too much on it, Bennett from the right-hand side, back into the middle again, header goalwards off the bar again. Well, Shrewsbury Town twice now have hit the frame of Cooper's goal, and it's Street this time with a looper. Azaz with this corner then. In towards Whittaker, controls it nicely, strikes it goalwards. Oh, it's gone through everybody. Back to Azaz again on the right-hand side. Oh, it's passed back. He's caught in 2 or 3 minds there. This is a foul and a lunge on the edge of the box in the end, and it's come to nothing. Gives the ball away on this left-hand side as he tried to play it down the line. Shrewsbury quickly onto everything, really, closing down the avenues. There's another mix-up at the back as Randall and Lundvik leave the ball to one another. Sadie has it, space on the left-hand side. This has to be a goal, it is. And Shrewsbury Town take the lead. More indecision from Argyle at the back, and Jordan Shipley has the goal. And this goes to try and win that ball in the air. It will drop to Winchester in the middle. Randall, really nice from him. Took a little nip, plays it out to the right-hand side. Whittaker, Ennis is in the middle, hits it towards goal and scores! Got it! Niall Ennis numbers Morosi, and Argyle are level. Here is Randall. Well, Home Park has finally risen. It's awoken. Mumba. Oh, he skips his man brilliantly. Free on the left-hand side. Can he pick out a green shirt? Does it again. Low ball into the box. Cosgrove was waiting. Butcher then. Oh, he tried to find Randall on the edge of the penalty area. It was cut out. Randall does so well to win it back. Butcher then delivers into the middle. Headed goalwards. Flicked on by Ennis. Pennington switches the play out to the left-hand side, where Shipley will collect it. He's got Bayliss inside of him. Low ball into Bowman. Can he turn and get a shot away? He can. It was blocked by Lundvik. Randall will then try and come away with it, and he does really well, controls it. Sprints clear. He's got Cosgrove away on the left-hand side, and he finds it. 2 Argyle players on the near side if Cosgrove can find either of them. Dunkley did well just to hold him up. Now Galloway in an attacking position. Lovely ball in. Whittaker is there! And Whittaker scores!
A dramatic night here at Home Park just under a week ago now, keeping Argyle top of the table, keeping Ipswich at bay, and of course the Greens are hoping that they will continue that run this evening. Casey, we were both here for that game. What did you make of it?
I think it was a disappointing first half performance, not the standards that they've set, but then second half they turned that around and threw more bodies forwards, got up the pitch better. Obviously Shuey changed the formation at half time, which worked really well, and yeah, ultimately got the win that everybody wanted on Tuesday night.
A big sigh of relief all around the stadium, when particularly that first and that second goal came in.
It was a hard watch at times, but yeah, they, like I say, upped the game in the second half and much improved performance, and a bit more drive, a bit more intensity, and that's what got them over the line in the end.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the squad that Argyle have this evening to see what changes have been made from that game last week. Some of the players you will see on your screen starting that they maybe brought more on a little bit later in the match. So we'll just read through the list for you now. We have got Michael Cooper, Jordan Houghton, James Wilson, Dan Scarr, Joe Edwards, Niall Ennis, Sam Cosgrove, Barley Mumba, Morgan Whittaker, Adam Randall and Brendan Galloway. And then on the bench we see the likes of Matt Butcher, Ryan Hardy, Conor Grant, Nigel Lomvike, Will Jenkins-Davies and Freddie Isaka. Now, one of the names I'm looking at there, Katie, is Sam Cosgrove. He came on during that Shrewsbury Town game and he was more of a maybe dominating presence, should we say, up the top half of the pitch, subbed out for the likes of Hardy and stuff. What are you making of the selection that Schumacher's put out to start this evening?
Yeah, I think he'll be looking to go physical to win the battle first, because I think that's what tonight's going to be, particularly maybe for the opening 20 minutes or so. It's going to be about who can win the fight. It might be a slightly cagey opening just while the teams are trying to suss themselves out, but like you say, I think Sam Cosgrove is more of a presence up front. And he'll hold the ball up better than potentially, Hardy or Ennis might do. So, and he played really well second half on Tuesday, so deserves another start.
Yeah, and we're seeing no Finn Azaz in the squad tonight. He'll be quite missed, I would imagine.
Yeah, and he gives you that kind of creative spark that potentially, with the likes of Danny Mayer missing, is an element that Argyle have potentially relied on this season, and he'll be a big miss. I think he obviously sustained an injury just before half-time on Tuesday. But we've got players who will come in. Niall Ennis is on a great run of form. He'll be looking to add goals to how he started the season so far. So, although Azaz will be missed, other players will come in and I'm sure will do just as good a job.
Yeah, and one other name that we have to mention as well is Dan Scarr, back in after a few games absence. I think the fans will be glad to see him back, and defensively it will be good to see him in the squad as well. Yeah,
definitely. And I think it's fair to say that Argyle have missed him, although obviously we've won games, but he's a bit more of a presence at the back. He's an organiser. He's kind of the leader in there. And I think it's great to have him back tonight. And again, of a game of this magnitude, his experience, he'll have played in games like this before. And I think he just gives you a little bit more stability at the back. That back three have played together quite a few times and be looking to keep a clean sheet, at least not concede early.
Yes. And while Argyle were getting their 2-1 win here on Tuesday, Exeter also gained a point under their new managers. First game away at Derby. Gary Caldwell took over just over a week ago and he has 1 point from one game so far. But let's have a look at the side that he has chosen tonight. These are the players that Argyle will be up against straight off the bat. Jamal Blackman in goal, Jake Caprice, Jack Sparks, Alex Hartridge, Archie Collins, Jay Stansfield, Sam Nombe, Josh Key, Timothy Dieng, Harry Kite and Pierce Sweeney is captaining the squad. Katie, would you say this is a formidable Exeter side to go up against, or do you feel like they are, relatively evenly matched against Argyle?
I think Exeter have had a bit of an up and down season, probably as you'd expect for a side that have just been promoted. And I think the one big surprise today is that Giovanni Brown is on the bench and is not starting. He's their top scorer this season. And I think, you'd have expected him to be in there with Nombe and potentially Stansfield as their front three. Whether he's changing formation tonight and going slightly more defensive, I guess we'll find that out when they line up on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because you would think maybe Exeter would want to come straight out of the gates and, go up against Argyle. But the way that the team is lined up with them playing more defensively, perhaps it's the case that they might come on later in the game and then provide a slightly later threat against Argyle's defence. Yeah,
potentially. And I think if you look at their game last Tuesday night when they played away to Derby, it was very much a backs against the wall defensive performance. And I think Caldwell was pleased with the way they defended, and I think tonight will be very similar. They'll come here to look to spoil our party tonight, and if they can play defensive sit-in, stop us from playing in behind, then that's exactly what they want to do. They'll look to hit us on the counter as much as they can. But I think, like I say, taking Brown out of that side definitely takes away one of their big threats.
Yeah, and this will be a big game for Caldwell as well. 1 week into the job and he's going straight into a Devon derby. It's not going to be easy for him, is it?
No, definitely not. But he's coming off the back of a professional career where I think he's played in the Glasgow derby. So he won't be, it won't be a new situation for him tonight to be in a derby situation. Obviously, being only a second game in charge of Exeter coming to Plymouth, who are top of the table, it's not an easy ask. But again, we hope that we can spoil his party this evening.
Yeah. I mean, we would definitely like to spoil his party, but I think if you can come in and take on Argyle, then you can pretty much go anywhere, to be honest. But hopefully he absolutely doesn't do that. Right, anyway, moving on then from looking at the Exeter team. Tonight is, of course, the first meeting between Argyle and City at Home Park since March 2017. And as mentioned as well, it is the first derby as manager for Stephen Schumacher. So let's find out if he's looking forward to it.
The local derbies always bring that little bit of excitement. I think we've been obviously in good form here and we need to try and keep that going, but there'll be a little bit more on this one because it's not just a normal league game, it's a local derby and we need to make sure that we're up for it.
Do you look forward to these games?
Yeah, I did as a player. I loved them as a player because didn't need any motivation for it. This will be my first one obviously as a manager. I've experienced it once before as a number 2. That wasn't a good experience, so we want to try and get a better one being as the manager on Monday night.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've met at Home Park in the league. I think 2017 was the last game played here in the league, as I say, and you can already feel, fans are itching for it. The atmosphere is probably going to be one of the best we've seen, and we've seen quite a few good ones here, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been good lately, yeah, for sure. But I think as soon as the fixtures came out, as the first fixture we look for, when do we play them? So, yeah, everyone is excited for it. The build-up on Derby week is a little bit different. The fans, I'm sure, will be edgy, as what normally happens when it's Derby day. Being an Everton fan, I was always a bit like that when we went to play Liverpool. So I'm sure our fans will be exactly the same, but we want the atmosphere to be hostile in here. We want it to be, noisy, get right behind the team and make it as hard as possible for them, yeah.
What is it like trying to build the side up, the squad up, the players up for this game? Because as you say, there is a lot of noise around it, and it's not a normal game because of what it means to supporters in the city and stuff. What is it like for you and your coaching staff, and maybe the senior players, to kind of do this week building up into it?
I think it's important that us as the coaching staff give the players the same amount of information as what we do for any game. So, got to prepare the same. We've got to speak about their strengths, their weaknesses, where we feel, what we need to do in the game. That can't change, can't come away from that. So that preparation will be normal. But then, as you just said, as close as it gets to the game, there's a few players that have experienced it, know what this Devon derby is all about. So I'll be leaning on them to let the other lads who don't know what it's about, how important it is. But even the young lads and the new players who have been in and around the city for such a short space of time, they will understand, because I'm sure they speak to fans, how important this game is. So yeah, they'll be up for it. We'll make sure that we're prepared as best as we can, and yeah, we try and put a performance in that gets us a win.
On the football side of things, not just the emotional side of things, it's another tough game. They're just outside the playoff places. They've got a new manager in there. They've made quite a decent start, you'd say, to life in Sky Bet League One, wouldn't you?
Brilliant, yeah. I think 7th are they in the league as well. So, great start coming up from League 2 last year. Matt obviously done a great job, got them to where he got them to. He's moved on, and Gary Caldwell comes in and now takes over. So that's going to be another challenge for us. He's only had the one game in charge, so we'll have to sort of figure out how they're going to play. But yeah, I'm sure that they're happy with their start. But as I say, it's a local derby, so form, positions in the table sort of goes out the window, and it's game on Monday night, yeah.
Just finally, what will it mean when you're walking out? As you said, it's your first derby as a manager, full house. What will that be like for you, do you think?
The same. I get nervous and excited and adrenaline going for every single game. This might just be a little bit more because of what's at stake, but I'll try and do what I always do and stay calm, try and watch the game, figure out what's going on if I can, and yeah, try our best as a staff to help the team get over the line and get the 3 points.
Stephen Schumacher talking there. Now, Katie, we've mentioned it before, but what are the pressures going into a game like this tonight against Exeter in particular?
It's a game you don't want to lose. I think that's the key thing. Yes, we want to win and we want to keep that unbeaten home run going, but do not lose the game tonight. That's one of the main things that they'll be saying. Do not send them back up the road with bragging rights from tonight's game. You know, the pressure is probably all on Argyle tonight. Exeter come here. They're away from home. New manager, yeah. Exactly. So it will be down to Argyle to, I think, set the tempo in this game and really take the game to Exeter as much as they can and try to get on the front foot nice and early.
Yeah. And talking about bragging rights, we unfortunately can't forget that, as Stephen Schumacher mentioned as well in the VT, the previous hurt from the 4-0 loss away 2 seasons ago. Do you think that will play a big part in the psyche going into this game?
Yeah, 100%. And unfortunately, that season we didn't get the chance to play them here and kind of right the wrongs from that game. And tonight is a chance to do that. It's the first chance we've had since that game to go out there and, you know, prove where we're at. And I would say we're a much better side than we were 2 years ago. Yeah. Exeter will probably say the same thing. They're a better side. But for me, I think, like I say, Argyle will be expected to go out there tonight and win this game.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's fair to say, we here on Argyle TV, the players, the staff, are treating tonight like it's a special game, like it's a little bit more than just one of the games in the league.
A derby game's always more than just one of the games in the league, and like I say, it's about the pride of pulling on that shirt and wanting to prove that you can do a job, and like I say, proving that we're the best team in Devon tonight. And I'm confident that we'll go out there and put on a performance for this sellout crowd and show them why we're top of the table and deserve to be there.
Mm-hmm. And I think Stephen Schumacher has, really proven himself since he's taken over tenure as manager. Do you think you would have faith in him and his managerial ability if you were playing under him?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. These players have absolutely no reason to doubt him whatsoever. Yeah. And he's proven time and time again this season that substitutions, tactical changes, he's done everything right to go and win games. And, yes, we've drawn a couple, but we haven't lost games in a long time. And that kind of winning mentality is something that will run throughout the squad. And that's not just the starting 11 tonight. That'll be the whole, 15, 16 players that are on the bench as well. So, tonight should be a good occasion and hopefully, like I say, put on a show in front of this sellout crowd tonight. Yeah,
when you're saying we haven't lost a game, it gives you that little twist in your stomach. Very much hoping that we don't jinx it by anything that we say here. But we do want to hear what you have to say as well. So please do get in touch with us online. We're on all the social medias. Twitter is the best one. We've already had some people getting in touch. Argyle USA in particular always sending a tweet out letting us know that they're watching. And wherever you are in the world, let us know your thoughts, maybe your score predictions. You could maybe give us a rank 1 to 10. Is how nervous you are, maybe, or how nervous would you say you are, Katie?
Oh, not that bad, actually.
Not that bad?
I'm confident. Yeah, I feel confident tonight.
Okay, I'm going to take some of that energy from you if I can. But yeah, get in touch. This has been dubbed, this is one of the comments that we've had earlier that I've been asked to mention. This has been, the El Clasico. This has been dubbed the El Pastico this evening, the Devon Derby. So we'll have to see how that goes, hopefully in Argyle's favour. But absolutely get in touch with us online and we will read your comments out at halftime, full time and in a bit, hopefully. Now, moving on, Adam Randall was on the bench last time Argyle played Exeter. He is a Plymouth lad and he knows exactly how much this game means.
You don't want to lose, but you absolutely want to win. So we want to go out there and put on a show and win the game. It's obviously got that extra bit of importance for me in particular, I think, and for a couple of others. But everyone knows how big this game is going to be, so we'll be on it.
Yeah, it's the first time tasting it first team level for you. How excited are you for that then?
A little bit nervous, a little bit excited. Just can't wait to get stuck in, really. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we haven't played them here in quite a few years. 2017 was the last league meeting between two sides at home park. So there's obviously that kind of feeling amongst the support base as well. They haven't tasted this match for quite a long time. It could be quite tasty.
Yeah, I'm sure plenty of people will be enjoying it, as will we, hopefully. Yeah, obviously this year we've had a massive backing from the fans, so that might be something that they've also not experienced coming here before. So hopefully that will also work in our favour. We can make it nice and loud and get right into them.
We're obviously in incredible form at the moment. Tuesday night sort of proved that again. Not necessarily our slickest performance, but getting the job done. How important is it to just keep that ticking over, the wins ticking over?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, our home form's been unbelievable so far, so we want to keep that up. We've shown that even when we go behind, we've got the character to come back, like you say, when we're not even playing at our best. So yeah, hopefully we obviously won't go behind. But if we do, then we've got all the confidence in the world to still go and win the game. Yeah,
what is it like playing in a team that is like that? Because it's not often that we're not quite on the top of our game, but when you're out there, is there always that faith that we will score at some point?
Yeah, I think it's the mental side of the things rather than the physical. You know that the characters in the dressing room are there to stick in it, and they're not going to give up. And you know they're just going to stick with the job and keep going until we get back in the game and get the win.
Just a couple of questions on Exeter. It's their first season back up into League One for quite a few years. They've actually started quite well. I don't know whether you've paid too much attention about their results, but got a draw at Derby on Tuesday, sit just outside the playoffs. What do you sort of make of them from what you might have seen?
I usually focus on where we are in the league, to be honest. They obviously seem to be doing all right. I've not really kept up with many of their scores because it doesn't matter to me. The one that matters is on the day. Just hoping that we can go out there and beat them.
And just finally, Rand, you kind of alluded to it. There's a few local lads in our squad at the moment. Do you feel as if you need to build this game up to your teammates, or the ones that aren't from here, or do you feel everybody knows?
I don't think so, no. I think everyone will know the importance of this game to everyone involved, the fans, the club, the coaching staff, obviously. So I don't think it needs to be built up by me in particular. Obviously it will be on the day as per usual anyway, by everyone. Everyone will be up for it, but there will be that added urgency, I'm sure, and everyone will know how important it will be to the fans to get the win.
And what will it mean for you specifically, walking out under the lights on Sky Television against Exeter City Pool House?
That'll be quite fun. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and like I say, just as long as we win, that's all I'm focused on.
Right, we will get some more action from inside the Argyle camp in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Bad ball in, a good goal, Schumacher. Progress into the second division.
Welcome back. You are watching Argyle TV on none other than Devon Derby Day. Now, Joe Edwards is the only player starting tonight who also started in the last match that Argyle played against Exeter City. And as a captain, he wants to make sure that the Greens are on the right side of the result and on his birthday as well.
Joe, Devon Derby, Exeter City on Monday, and it's your birthday. Mm-hmm. What a day that could be.
Yeah, it is, yeah, and it makes it even more special, I guess. There's a buzz about it already. You can feel it all around, even just walking in town, you get little comments, and like I said, we know how much it means to everyone, and it means to us as well. So, yeah, like I said, it's going to be something we're really looking forward to, me especially, and like I said, my birthday as well, so hopefully it's a good one.
You say you're looking forward to it, and there is a buzz. Do you really look forward to derby games, rivalry games?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and to be fair, in my career, I've not had many big ones really. This is going to be the biggest I've played in, certainly in terms of what it means, and do you know what I mean, we're at home, and do you know what I mean, it's going to be a big sellout, it's going to be brilliant. So like for me, this is, I'm so excited for it, and you do really get a sense of how much it means all the time, even when we're not playing Exeter. There's fans speaking about it, so yeah, we know what's at stake, and we're ready for it.
How do you then keep emotions calm enough in the dressing room? Because as you say, that it is a big feeling around the game. You've already heard crowds, fans speaking about it. It's going to be a sellout. It's a night game.
Yeah, you do have to control your emotions, and you have to be clever with what you do and how you go about it. Because ultimately, you want to win the game more than anything. You don't want to lose it off a silly mistake or loss of head. So that's part and parcel with footy. You have to, like I said, learn to control your emotions. But do you know what I mean, in a game like this, sometimes there's added pressure on it. But like I said, we're here to do a job, and that's what we want to do. And like I said, we know we'll send everyone happy if we get a good result that we want. So we have to make sure we're focused and ready for the challenge ahead.
If you even take the fact that it's Argyle against Exeter out of it, it's the side that's top of the table against the side just outside the playoffs and got a new manager and kind of playing quite well.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some good teams in this league this year, and like I said, they're up there at the moment, and they're doing well. And like I said, they've got a new manager, so they have that little bounce and buzz off a new manager. So we know it's going to be a tough game. We're in a great position at the moment, and we want to keep that going. We're at home, like I said, full house on the TV, and we got to produce a performance that can compete in this game, and like I said, hopefully come out on the right side of it.
And what would it mean to you? You've been at the club for quite a few years now, captain of course, to get a win in this game and keep our run at home going? Yeah,
it's everything. I've had mates who've played here and not played many games for Argyle, but they have played in the Devon Derby, and they've either scored or done something well, and they're remembered for years and years. So it is an opportunity to put your mark in Argyle history, if you like. So now for me, it'd be everything. It's a fantastic club we're a part of, and we want to be on the right side of the result on Monday night.
Joe Edwards talking there. Now, don't forget to keep all your comments coming in. We've had a few already. I've just got to make sure I read them out in the right order. One is, in particular, a very special shout out to Connor Griffiths Beach, who has tweeted us at Argyle and let us know that their new baby has arrived just in time for the Devon Derby, the latest addition to the Green Army. What great timing. That is absolutely fantastic. James, also a shout out for you, watching the Devon Derby from an empty pub in Scotland today. An empty pub in Scotland? I can't believe that. Not the same atmosphere at Home Park, but cheering on nonetheless. And we have got somebody watching from Cyprus as well, a 10 p.m. kickoff in Cyprus. No worries, adrenaline already pumping. Come on, you Greens. And who else do we have? Frank, who is watching up in London. Couldn't make the travel today, but still supporting nonetheless. And we've had a couple pictures come in as well of Argyle supporters dressed up, of course, for Halloween. So it looks like we have got a zombie pilgrim on the crowd somewhere, which is very exciting to see. Argyle USA, of course, as I mentioned before, and a very special regular shout out to our regular contributor Tatsumaki Bones, watching in Japan. Set lots of alarms ready to be up early or up late for the match. Let us know where in Japan you're watching from. We've got a vested interest in you as our, I dare say, #1 supporter. So send us some more tweets. Let us know where in Japan you are. We would love to hear from you. Now, after we get some more comments coming in a minute, we are closing in on Kickoff here on Argyle TV. So we'll get a reminder of all the team news once more right after this. Welcome back. I should add, obviously, if you have any lovely comments about the team behind me and how beautiful the backs of their heads look, please feel free to send those in as well. We would love to hear from you. Right, now, just over 20 minutes to go until the 70th league meeting between Argyle and Exeter City tonight. Both managers are on their first Devon derby, and for Gary Caldwell, this is his second game in charge.
It's got everything: a derby game, Sky, away from home. You know, we're going into an environment that's going to be hostile. We have to be ready for that and prepared for that. But what the players showed on Tuesday night at Derby then was really pleasing. Can we add to that? Can we add little bits in how we attack and how we are with the ball? And if we can, I think we can cause Plymouth a lot of problems.
And it being Monday, not Saturday, does that give you that extra time to prepare fully as well for the game? After having, the midweek Tuesday? Yeah,
it allowed us time to recover first and foremost, and then it has also allowed us time to then be clear in how we want to prepare and be ready for, ultimately a big challenge. They're top of the league for a reason. They're obviously playing well, but we will look at them and be really prepared to one, be as good as we were defensively on Tuesday, but also to attack better and be clear on how we want to cause them problems.
You've played in some of the biggest derbies in your career as well as a player. Is that something that your knowledge of knowing kind of what to expect that you can pass on to our squad? I mean, we've got a lot of younger players that are experiencing this kind of situation for the first time as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's getting the balance right emotionally. You have to be emotional in big games. You have to be ready for that, but you also have to have a clear head at times, and we have to have that clarity in how we're going to play. The outcome is obviously really important, but how we go about getting that is more important. So the next few days we will prepare the players so that they have that clarity and they can go out and enjoy the game.
I guess playing in that atmosphere, 25,000 people on Tuesday night, and how vocal it was, I guess that will help lead them into this game in a way.
Yeah, well, although I think it will be a bit louder. I think when derby games come around, the supporters go up to another level, and I'm sure ours, as good as they were on Tuesday, I'm sure they'll be even better on Monday.
And Plymouth sit top of the league, having won all 8 of their home games so far, so we can't underestimate how much of a challenge it's going to be.
No, that's what I said. I believe they're up there on merit. They're playing well, but as we do every game, we have to prepare to find those weaknesses and work on that in training. The players have to believe that they can cause them problems, and they did that to Derby on occasions. There's little things we can get better at. We showed that today. We've done some work on that, and we'll continue to do that in the next few days so that we're ready for the challenge.
And we come into the game on the back of 2 positive results as well. The win against Fleetwood and the draw against Derby. So there's a lot of positives to take into the game. Yeah,
there is. We're in a good place as well. The players, put in a massive effort in terms of physical effort on Tuesday night. They've recovered well, trained well today, so it's just a case of being prepared, and when those moments come in the games, we have to have a calm head and make sure that we play the right pass, or we get the right shot off to turn those good opportunities that we created on Tuesday, to turn them into goals.
Okay, let's get a reminder of the team news once again for you now, starting with none other than the Argyle lineup this evening. We have a couple of changes since last game against Shrewsbury Town here at home, but they are as follows: Michael Cooper, Jordan Houghton, James Wilson, Dan Scarr, Joe Edwards, Niall Ennis, Sam Cosgrove, Barley Mumba, Morgan Whittaker, Adam Randall, Brendan Galloway, and on the bench, Callum Burton, Matt Butcher, Ryan Hardy, Connor Grant, Nigel Lomvike, Will Jenkins-Davies, and Freddie Isaka. We haven't mentioned yet, Katie, but a couple of the subs this evening, like Will Jenkins-Davies and Freddie Isaka, they are academy players, young guys. It must be pretty good for them to be on the bench for a game like this.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's great for them to even just be in the stadium tonight and, lapping up the atmosphere, definitely. But knowing that potentially they might be needed tonight off the bench, and they'll be absolutely buzzing if they get to get on against the local rivals from just up the A38.
Yeah, and starting as well, we've got Whittaker and Ennis, who we saw goals from last week. They'll, I imagine, will be wanting to kind of score straight off the bat if they can tonight.
Yeah, and I think you've got 3 strikers pretty much playing today who are a banging form, and like you say, Whittaker and Ennis will be looking to add more goals to their tallies from recently. Cosgrove will be looking to get on the score sheet again. Cosgrove is an important player in terms of not necessarily just his goal scoring, but actually what he gives the team in terms of being able to, like I said, hold the ball up a little bit more, get the likes of Whittaker and Ennis on the ball in dangerous areas, and look into, we've seen it from Morgan Whittaker throughout the season now. He likes to get shots away from the edge of the box, and I'm sure he'll be looking to do that again tonight. Yeah, absolutely. We'll take a look as well at our opposition this evening. Exeter City have prepared a starting lineup with maybe some players missing that we might have expected, but their 11 are as follows: Jamal Blackman, Jake Caprice, Jack Sparks, Alex Hartridge, Archie Collins, Jay Stansfield, Sam Nombe, Josh Key, Timothy Dieng, Harry Kite and Pierce Sweeney. And a couple of those players which you will see on the bench, Giovanni Brown in particular, one is Katie that you mentioned before, that maybe seems like an interesting omission in the starting 11 for Exeter. Yeah, like we mentioned previously, he's their top scorer currently, and I think for them to put him on the bench tonight is potentially a big shock. I wonder personally whether Caldwell might be changing the system. They previously have set up in quite similar to Argyle with wing backs in the back three. Mm-hmm. I wonder whether he might look to go potentially with a back four tonight and make things a little bit more solid defensively, and play Stansfield and Nombe up front together. But like I say, we'll kind of see what he's thinking when the players get out on the pitch. Do you think he's maybe looking at the strong form that Argyle have had all throughout the season and is trying to go for a semblance of an element of surprise almost in changing what Argyle might have expected to see from them tonight? Yeah, quite possibly. And I guess for him, as the manager and only being in his second game, it's kind of a fresh slate for him, and people maybe won't question what he's doing. He'll have his reasons for setting them up the way they have, and like you say, we've got such a big goal scoring threat that are they just trying to nullify that as best as they can, and look to play a similar game to how they played on Tuesday night up at Derby. Now I'm going to ask you a question that I don't want to ask because I like to err on the side of caution, but your confidence is radiating out this evening. What do you think is going to happen tonight? I think, like I say, it'll be a cagey opening 20 minutes or so where they're trying to suss each other out. Probably a few loose passes with adrenaline from the atmosphere, from the occasion tonight. Yeah. But then I think once Argyle settle, get the ball down, start to play, I'm confident that we'll get a 3-1 win tonight. You'd love to see it. Do you think that in a game like tonight, emotions have got the risk of running a little bit too high? Not just amongst the fans, but amongst the players as well? Yeah, sure. And, we've seen it before. There's, there'll be tackles flying in tonight, and everybody will want to be getting the upper hand. They'll want to win their little individual battles on the pitch, their 1v1s. And that's probably exactly what she'll be saying in the change rooms now is, go out and win your individual battles, and if we do that as a team, we'll come out on top tonight. So everyone needs to obviously keep their calm and play football, and that's what Argyle are good at. So we'll definitely be looking for more of that again tonight. And finally, which elements of Exeter's game do you think Argyle need to be targeting particularly to get that 3-1 win that you have so promised us? So I think, like I say, the key thing is getting Cosgrove on the ball, holding it up, getting players involved. We've got the likes of Barley Mumba and Joe Edwards who want to bomb forwards, they want to get involved, and we'll be trying to pin their fullbacks back as early as we can. If they do go 3 at the back and wing backs, we'll be looking to be progressive, get forwards, stop their wing backs playing higher up the pitch by pushing them back, and then trying to create that space for the likes of Whittaker and Ennis to get on the ball and cause chaos. Yeah, well, fingers crossed the chaos will ensue and it will all be in our favour. I can see the time is 2:15 and I can hear above the studio, because we are based kind of in between the Devonport end and the Lyndhurst stand, that the Argyle fans are ready and raring to go from the chants that are happening around the studio here. So if you're ready, I think we are ready. The action is just moments away. A reminder that you can follow the game on Argyle TV if you live overseas.
fees. All the details of that are available on the website, which is where you can get the streaming pass from as well. Now, without any further ado, it is Argyle versus Exeter City. You will be in the company of Charlie Price and former Argyle defender Mark Edworthy to take you through all the action this evening. See you in a bit.
Well, good evening.